Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Listen, I'm back. First to get into Love Island, the USA. Now, I feel like we've had quite a few episodes that's been drama filled and super entertaining. So it's always possible for us to get that episode, or not always possible. It always makes sense when we get that episode where the energy is a little, you know what I'm saying? Where it wasn't that good, but it was decent enough, okay? Because we have to start all over and build it back up for the excitement. So let's get into it. Now, Kenzie told Corbin that she was gonna pick him. Now, I was thinking that she probably was gonna pick Sean. And I saw in the comments where some of you guys said that she told one of the girls she was going to pick him. So either way, Sean, you was going to go home, it looked like, okay? So Kenzie said she was going to pick Corbin or whatever. And she says that he's the youngest guy that she's ever dated or whatever. And he's like, oh, you never had a connection with a guy as young as me? And she was like, no. So he started calling her a cougar. I also felt like when he said connection, he wanted to make sure she knew that we ain't dating. Like, this is just like, we on the island. Like, this is really just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't your man like that. Like, this is just connection, okay? Make sure that you know, like, we just vibing off connections. Like, I'm not your, like, you get it, okay? I said, all right then. Anyway, so we get to Trinity and we get to Bryce. All right, so they're catching up after sending Sean home. So sad. Okay, Bryce says that he feels bad that Sean is gone, but he ain't gonna lie, he is relieved to know that he's still there on the island. And Miss Trinity done saved him for another day, honey. He is locked in with her. Now, I do feel like when Casa Amor comes around, if Bryce is still in the villa, he is definitely going to play if he gets somebody that he feels is on his same wavelength, right? And I feel like if that's the case, it's only fair for Bryce and for Trinity to get somebody in there that's really their type by Casa Amor if they still gonna be relying on each other. You know what I'm saying? And if with them two being with each other and them flying under the radar, it's about time for people to vote. I'm sure you guys already voted. And with that, I don't really see anybody voting for them. Honestly, truly, y'all might vote for Bryce, but I feel like the energy was because I don't know what the question was. Like, what was the question? Was the question was vote for your favorite Islanders or your favorite couple? If it was that, Trinity and Bryce could fall to the bottom because they're not like a favorite. It could be Trinity and Bryce. It could be Trinity, Bryce, Melanie, and Sincere. But because people like Sincere, they may vote primarily just for Sincere. I know people really like Trinity, so they're going to vote based on Trinity, not so much as Bryce. He is attached to her. So all in all, what I'm saying is I can see these two making it to Casa Amor. Once they get to Casa Amor, if nobody comes in that they're interested in before then, please make sure the same way y'all walked in somebody for Kenzie damn near. Okay, in this episode, please make sure that y'all bring in some people that are going to be attracted to Trinity, and that is also Trinity's type. But let us hope and pray. Same thing for Bryce, okay? And that's going to be interesting to see the breakdown of the relationship from that point, okay? Or the connection, honey. Let me be clear, okay? Like Corbin or the connection. That's going to be interesting to see the connection from that point. All right. But all in all, Trinity says that she was attracted to Sean. She was, but she just didn't connect with Sean the way that she connected with Bryce. 1000%. I feel like the moment, okay, the moment that Sean found out that Baya played him to the left, instead of him walking around moping on the island, which is how I felt that he did, he should have been over there trying to get to know some of the other ladies. Like, yes, he did sit down with Anaya. He did sit down with Melanie and ask them, what their type is or if they're open or whatever. And I think he asked if they were open. Melanie said, what's your type? He said Trinity and Anaya. And even if in that moment, he didn't even pull Anaya for a chat or nothing. He just walked off, right? So I feel like he should have just went for it. And that could have been said in a private conversation where the person was interested in you or not, whatever the case is. But he could have tried a bit harder. And that's the reason why she ended up choosing Bryce, because although she may have felt like we weren't connecting as deep, well, I'm not going to say it's deep, but although we're not connecting physically like a lot of the other couples are, I guess that she sat and really thought about it. She's like, but we are connected. And if I had to weigh the odds, Sean ain't really been talking to me like that. So if somebody else came in the villa, he may leave me out to dry. Whereas somebody come in for Bryce and they ain't stun him, he gonna still choose me. I just think she went with the safer bet at the end of the day. So we get to Casey and Anaya. Y'all, am loving me some Casey and Anaya. Now I'm not gonna hold y'all, but I am I'm not waiting for Casey to mess up, but I'm my fingers are crossing that he does not mess up. But I'm also like, this is Love Island. Because it's Love Island, he's going to do some fucking up. Like, I just feel like it's going to happen. It's a matter of when. But I'm like, please don't mess nothing up. Please don't mess nothing up, okay? And that goes for both of y'all. Casey said that he was worried that Anaya was going to, probably F him over and pick somebody else, child. And I'm like, why would you think that? You thought she probably was gonna pick Sean? Why would you think that? You know what? I think Casey may have thought that as I'm thinking about it. I noticed this episode he definitely gave her the compliments. Y'all know the other day we heard him lay it on thick. Now the day of the recoupling, earlier that day, you saw where Anaya was talking to Sincere and she was like, I just need to know, like, if he's interested, let me know. If you're not interested, like what's what. I think that recoupling could have scared the shit out of him. Okay. So now he knows to make sure that he reassures her. Cause I remember putting that in my notes too. And I'm like, okay, Sincere must have went back and had that conversation with him and letting him know, like, hey, she wants you to like reassure her, whatever the case is. And as I'm talking about it now with you guys, I don't even think it was Sincere talking to him. I think that recoupling probably scared the shit out of him. However, I do believe that the things he was telling her is genuinely how he felt, though. He probably just was not like being more forward with it and saying it more. But I do believe what he said to her is exactly how he feels, But he also, when he talks about his life experiences and stuff, it just, I don't know, he a little shy. And I feel like I noticed that this episode, so it takes me back to the recoupling when he did tell Ariana that he is a little shy, and now people around him are seeing that he does have something to say, and he is funny. Yeah, he's slowly coming out. That's what I think is going on with KC. But either way, she asked him, what if somebody else came into the villa that was his type? He said, man, they're gonna have to do a whole lot. He said they're gonna have to do a whole lot to interrupt what we got going on over here. I said, oh, is they really gonna have to do all of that, KC? Like, what's going on? Because I was feeling Anaya when she was like, oh, KC. I love what she says that KC. Oh, KC is so cute. But either way, so I was concerned though when he said that. It made me think about, is this foreshadowing? With her bringing up, hey, what if somebody comes in here that's your type? It's like, damn, they about to really test my people. Y'all about to be like, we got some bombshells on the way somewhere. Y'all about to test my people. So I'm a little concerned, but we gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. So he tells her that real feelings are starting to creep in on a deeper level. And I was like, oh my, are they? Are they? Don't let me down. Don't let me down, KC. Cause see, KC, for me, you not up there with Cordell. You not all the way up there with Cordell, but you are coming up there with Cordell. Does that make sense? Like Cordell is like up there. You is like right there. But you coming. You know what I'm saying? Like you coming, but just like don't piss me off. All right. So either way, Zach and Kata. So he tells her if Corbin would have chose her and took her away from him, he said he would have been really, really upset. Of course, we know because I think that y'all are. First of all, Kata is she is so beautiful. Like the fact, even I the eye to nose ratio. She's just so cute. Either way, so he says if Corbin would have took her away, he would have been upset. Miss Ma'am said I would have been crying the whole damn time. I'm not even going. She said, I don't think you would have been crying. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you would have been crying the whole time. But I do feel like something about Corbin, and maybe it's because he kept asking her for kisses, just gives he's not as mature. He's not mature enough. He wasn't man enough for me. Like, he's not mature enough for Kata. It kind of gives that. She might be out your league just a tad. Okay. So that's what's going on. All right. Kata seems to be all in on Zach. And although I like that for the both of them, I want them to explore, but I kind of don't. And I kind of feel the same way I feel about Casey and Anaya. Like, I want y'all to just get to know other folks, but then I don't. So we'll see, because they're cute. Let's get to Baya and Gabe, because she talks about being nervous when it came down to doing her speech and stuff and choosing him to pick. It was a no-brainer that she was gonna pick him, but she was really nervous because she said she don't really get into stuff like she don't really do stuff like that, right? And I was like, I think he asked her like, do what? And I'm like, be vulnerable is what it sounds like. She don't really let her guard down, let her heart down, and just let people know what, how she feeling on that type of level. Okay. Now she'll let you know how she feeling, but the soft part. Okay. So either way, she wasn't sure how he was gonna react because she was looking at how the guys was reacting to the other ladies. And I guess she's still questioning how much he really likes her. And she didn't know if she was gonna get that all lovey-dovey hug, kissy, kissy, kissy type of reaction from him. And I cannot remember what kind of reaction she got from him, but either way, I'm sure Gabe was happy, right? So he tells her that he feels like everything he's saying to her is from his heart, right? And I guess he also struggles with, I guess, getting it out. And I'm like, because she said, you want to tell me in Spanish or Portuguese? And I'm like, oh, so you struggling to get it out in English or something? I'm confused. Whatever works for you. So they communicate, and he pretty much tells her that, he's really into her. That's just the short answer, right? I think they could have went to bed after this. I think everybody got ready, went to bed, woke up the next day, and Gabe and Maya finally are talking about something in my personal. So he wants to know what she wants in a guy. Of course, she wants a gentleman, somebody that's gonna open her door, be in tune with her emotions, all of that. Like, she wants that. So he asked if there's anything that he's missing, and she said, "Well, yeah, the deeper conversations, because I don't feel like we're having those," and she's not wrong, because y'all not okay. So then, so he asked her about her past relationships, and that's where she says, "Well, I had two adult relationships, and one of the guys was like 20 years older than her." So was he like 40? Was you like 20 and he was 40? Oh, okay. I guess. That ain't that far. 40, I mean, yeah, it's a decade or away or so. But now, I mean, because I don't know how old she was when she dated this guy. So, like, were you 25 and he was 45? Because if so, even with that, why would you sit up there and say when you learned that Gabe was hunching on a 52-year-old, would you sit up there and say, does that still work down there? Like, girl, what? Knowing that you dating a man 20 years old, you should have been asking your damn self if that worked down there for him. That was, you was just being shady though. But anyway, I said, nah. I was just really shocked to hear that. And when she said she dated somebody 20 years older than her, and it took me back to what she said about Gabe at the time. But either way, let's keep going. So these two are over there talking, or whatever the case is. She did say that she doesn't want to get too lost in the connection because his other type may come into the villa, and she don't want to be in a position to where she put all her eggs in one basket and then he snatched up from up under her, because she is really, really starting to feel gay. But she was already feeling him because the sexual connection was there. And it's really just been pure sexual. I feel like they're now having deeper conversations just a bit now. So I don't think she's wrong for thinking that, but who else you gonna get to know aside from anybody new that comes into the villa? I mean, you can go and try and have a conversation with Sincere, try to have one with Zach, but everybody is pretty much set on who they're interested in and not interested in at this time. And the only way they would likely waver is if they're on the chopping block. But so Sincere and Anaya, they chat about Melanie and how he's feeling much better about the situation between them. And he's happy, right? He asked her how she doing. She's feeling great about KC. She loves that he reassures her and stuff. So things have changed. Okay. So they both seem to be happy in their coupling. Now, when Melanie and Sincere pretty much made up, I was wondering how long it was going to last. Considering last night's episode is kind of giving, I don't know, it's given they're good, but she still played one more game that he didn't really like, and you could tell he didn't like. And we'll get into that. Okay, so Baya says she thinks Gabe is with her until his person comes in, because I think it was her, Kenzie, Trinity, all upstairs, and they were just chatting, and that's what she ended up telling the ladies. And it's like, damn. I mean, he could be. I mean, I don't think nothing's wrong to think that. I kind of feel like all the ladies should kind of think that. I mean, obviously, it was something that crossed Anaya's mind, which is why she brought it up to KC. But I mean, it's a tough position to be in, but good luck. So Kenzie is happy to be in her couple, and she is so happy to finally have a man. She was downstairs the night when it was time to get ready for bed. She's like, oh, I got a tall man, and I got a this man, and I got a dad man. She is so happy to have somebody. And I'm in between. I'm so happy for Kenzie to have somebody, because I don't want Kenzie to walk around the villa feeling like she's unwanted and she, you know what I'm saying? Nobody interested in her. Don't nobody want to feel that, right? But then at the same time, I was kind of feeling how I felt about Melanie the other day. Like, girl, sit your ass down. Sit the hell down, because the verdict's still out on his ass anyway. We don't even know if he like you for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, 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 real. I mean, you might be in the category of his type, but we don't know. Because honestly, I do feel like Corbin's type is a blonde headed woman, right? And definitely a blonde headed woman that's going to put out. And that's the energy that you're giving, Kenzie. Just so I guess you are his type, but in the long run, I don't know if you his type in the long run. But he here to play games, so just play games with his ass too. Okay, but I was like, girl, sit down. But either way, it is what it is. Love how Trinity said, listen, I still want you to get your cowboy though. I was like, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that, girl. Let her get her cowboy, honey. I said, baby, the way the producers was listening and they was clocking things, they was on point. And I do like how they drop little I guess like notes or clues from conversations, and then it all kind of came together by the end of the episode. I ain't mad at it. Right. So Casey and I are talking, and he says that he's only had one real relationship. He says the type of girls that he typically go after are outgoing, funny, independent, driven, everything that Anaya really is. That's the type of woman that he likes. So she talks about her two relationships that she was in. I believe one could have been in high school, one could have been like while in college, on and off, or whatever the case is. So she talks about that, and she says how, and because he asked like, how were you in high school? She said, I was your typical athletic girl. I dated a football player, whatever the case was. Like, I was kind of popular. Like, that's what that gives. Like, yeah, to your typical high school girl that you may see in movies or whatever. You know how it go. So KC talks about how he's never really explored outside of where he lives. He's never really taken a chance. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, KC, this is your chance right here. Shout out to you. You took a chance, you left where you're from, and you came to damn Fiji to live with some damn strangers. Okay? Yeah. That's tough, because you don't know what people's weird things are. Right? Yeah, it's cool, it's glamorous for TV, but some of the different, you don't know the personality or the little things that people do that may be annoying as hell. You know what I'm saying? People may make certain signs. They may snore in their sleep. They may do certain shit or whatever like that. They may eat a certain way. Like, you just don't know who you're coming around, and you took that chance to go and do that. So good for you. Okay. He does say that Anaya is kind of opening his eyes for the things that he can do, because she did not. I think she went to school in Florida, even though she's from Georgia. I think she decided to go out of state to go to college, and she said she played volleyball in high school. I believe she played volleyball in college, so she probably got a scholarship. Even if it was half, okay, if it went full, whatever. Look, I don't fault you, mamas. Going out of state, play for the volleyball team and do your thing. First of all, volleyball games can be so fun. They can be they like the women's basketball. Like, y'all gonna stop sleeping on the women's sports, baby. Okay? Because they be heavily entertaining. It'd be better than some of these men's sports. Anyway, let me keep going. So he's over there talking to her, and he compliments her and everything and all of that, and kissing her down or whatever. And he was like, I know I'm doing too much. She was like, no, you're doing a good job or whatever. And she was like, actually, you're perfect. And I was like, okay. So I guess he stepped it up because he wasn't showing the affection like I guess she may have needed or something. So I don't know. And maybe it could have been both things. When Anaya had that conversation with Sincere, maybe Sincere went back and told that conversation to him. And then also knowing that he was likely on the chopping block later that night, after probably learning that information, which he never really was on the chopping block. He probably was like, let me be more clear with how I feel. So we'll see. Okay. So they're cute. Let's get to Corbin and Kenzie, because they're talking, and she said something like his eyes look like a lion or something like that. And I guess he started thinking about the jungle and needed to go into his fantasy. and his fantasy was being blindfolded in bed trying to find his partner, which is what I guess they were trying to do last night, because y'all know it'd be pitch black in there. So interesting. Interesting. Because they ended up doing the very thing that he kind of wanted at the end of the episode. Okay, so we in his fantasy. Let's keep going. So they're over there talking about it. She said something about how she loves 69. He said he's never done that. I don't know what Corbin has done. Corbin may have done it and didn't know that it was called 69, child. I don't know what the people be over there doing, but that is what the people be over there doing. But I will say this: America is overly freaked out, ain't it? Y'all don't think so? I'm like, damn. From all this kissy, 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 go over here, kiss your man, kiss this man, go in there behind that screen, that door over there, kiss that man, come back out there and kiss this man, then spin around. When I dip, you dip, kiss that man. It's just kissy, kissy, kissing, kissing. Can I get a kiss? Can I get a kiss? Kiss me. Okay? It's crazy. From doing all of that, so we over here talking about sex positions, I'm like, damn, America is overly freaked out. Okay, I feel like the moment we came into the villa, we knew these were some freaks or something. Like, damn. Let's keep going. Melanie gets a text about the slumber party. So they're gonna get into that. Kayla said, listen, I'm sorry, Kata. Kata said, I want some lingerie. I want Zach to see exactly what he's gonna get when we come out of this villa together. I said, don't he already see it in the damn swimsuits? You need him to see it in some lingerie too. Ah, okay. Well, listen, they got what they wanted, okay? She got what she wanted, lingerie and boxers, all right? Now, the guys will be strapped to the bed. The girls will be blindfolded, and they going to have some little paint bags. They got to dip their hands in the paint and feel around and find a guy, all right? Once you feel around, find your guy you think he is, you handcuff yourself to the person you believe is your man. All right. So that's just how they go. Trinity goes first. She done kissed everybody till she got to Bryce. She decided to stop. Melanie starts kissing. I think Melanie kissed every damn body. I don't know if she kissed Gabe, but I definitely believe she kissed KC. And I think she went down the line. I thought, because I don't know. I think maybe she kissed Turtle. Girl, not Turtle Tongue. I was going to call him Bryce. Maybe she kissed Bryce, but she barely kissed Zach. She was like, that ain't my man. Right? So yikes. Either way, she go down the line, kiss everybody. And this is where she started playing the game with Sincere. Okay. And yeah, I mean, he was like, am I going to be going throughout the island being tested the whole time? I mean, your relationship is supposed to be tested on the island, but really what I think he was saying was, am I going to be being played with this whole damn time intentionally? Okay, by the person that's telling me one thing, but then you doing some other shit. Right. And with that being said, that's what it seemed like she was doing, playing the game on your ass. She knew who you was. She over there kissing Sincere. She go over there to Corbin, kiss Corbin, go back to Sincere, and then go back to Corbin. Then I think she could have did it a third time. Sincere, Corbin, diss him over here. And Corbin like, girl, what the fuck is you doing? But did y'all, I don't know. The way Corbin looked, he looked like he did not want to kiss Melanie. And that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's how the people be. I don't want to go. I get it. But he seemed like he was like, I don't know. I don't know. Well, whatever it was, that man got at that confessional and he was like, why you kept doing that back and forth kissing? Your man's hair is the longest hair in the villa. I know that's fucking right, Corbin. Your man got the longest hair in here out of all the men. And you mean, and he said she put her hand up and then she took her hand down. So he literally sitting there watching her. But she just wanted to kiss Corbin. You know why? Because Corbin is her type to a T. Child. But we shall see. And the fact that she kissed all over that man was like, there is still heavy interest over there. Which I feel now explains all the excitement and the giddiness at the very end of the episode. But let's keep going. So either way, these are the games that Corbin is talking about, that Miss Girl is playing, okay? So, beautiful woman named Soul comes out. I mean, gorgeous woman, okay? She's up there now. She up there with the level of Miss Kata, but she giving a little more thick back there. Look, okay? Look, E. Look, E. She giving a little more booty back there. All right. So she's gorgeous. She coming there with her heels and then she take them off. I said, now why y'all, first of all, how you gonna tell people and it's about quiet in the villa. Y'all could have some music playing somewhere. I don't know. But if you see her walking in heels on these damn planks, why? What the fuck? Why? Why? You know they gonna hear that. So she had to take the heels off, step down, come into the bed, or y'all should have had her walking out there without no damn heels on. But either way, she gets to the bed and she immediately kisses. Hold up, did she kiss Gabe first? I thought she went to KC first. I could be wrong. I could have sworn she went to KC first. But either way, out of all the men she kissed, she said her tops were Corbin, KC, and Sincere. I said, fuck. Damn. I said, was I right when I thought that Anaya and KC's connection was going to be tested? Because he said he's a sucker for a pixie cut. I said, oh damn. Ain't this something? Go and take that half wig. I'm like, Anaya, go and take the half wig off. But she probably don't have a pixie cut. Her hair probably longer than the damn half a wig she got on. But either way, he said he'll sucker for it, so we gonna see, honey. Now Baya goes and she kisses Casey and Gabe. And then she locks it in with Gabe. Okay, she didn't go far. So the next bombshell comes out and she goes to the same, she go do everybody, but it seemed like she went to the main guys, Casey and Corbin. And I feel like she was gonna go to Trinity, but um not Melanie, it was either Kada or it was Kenzie that was out there kissing as to why she did not make it to. I think another girl was in her way, which is why she didn't make it to Trinity. But I feel like she was gonna go for the top ones too. Okay, but Anaya was last. She kissed nobody. She just felt around. She didn't kiss nobody. She kissed KC. Now this is what I do wonder. Although I was like, yes, girl, don't kiss nobody, right? Because some of the ladies still kissed, even if a lady was right there, they still kissed. You know what I'm saying? Because when Melanie went, and before she even kissed Corbin, she saw that it was a girl there, and she kissed her, which I believe was Trinity. So I don't even think she kissed Bryce, or did she? But she damn sure kissed Trinity, baby. Okay? But let's get back to Anaya. I wonder if Anaya did not have those other ladies in her way, letting her know they're already with their men, so let me skip over. I wonder if she would have kissed some other guys. And I'm wondering, would she have kissed the other guys? The reason she didn't kiss the other guys, right? I'm wondering, could it have been because you probably didn't want to make any of your homegirls feel away by kissing their men? Or was it because, oh, okay, that this clearly isn't my man because somebody's sitting here with this guy? I don't know. But I do wonder. Because when she heard Trinity kind of laugh, she said, oh, I'm out of here. So, I mean, of course she wasn't finna kiss Bryce child. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts on that, right? So, it's time to reveal. Okay, everybody sees each other. They found their way back to their partners. They try to identify who had what colors. And for some reason, and I don't know how, Melanie realized that the color red is a color that nobody had. So where did this red come from? And baby, when I tell y'all, it was like they damn near took their bag and doused it on KC. Now, why is everybody gunning for KC? Like, what's going on? Y'all okay? All of a sudden. But anyway, they realized there was some bombshells there. So the bombshells came out. The girls said they love the kisses. Zach over there smiling. Kata looking at him like, I was hollering. Like, nigga, what you smiling at? Okay. Ariana asked the guys how they feel. KC told me he feels blessed. Baby, I started hollering like this fool. So then Baya said, wrong answer. He said, to be with my girl. Anaya said, KC, it's not funny. The whole thing was hilarious to me. So Ariana tells them, listen, it's okay, because ladies ain't forget about y'all this time. Y'all see that man over there? He coming over here. So Melanie is going crazy all over again, doing the most, jumping up and down, excited. Okay, Trinity. And see, this is the thing though, with her excitement, it looks like she was super excited for Melanie. Well, Melanie's type is coming in. So where else is Corbin going to divert his attention? He could try with the bombshells, right? Or he could go back and see what Melanie is talking about, which is why she gave him that passionate kiss. That's not why. She didn't know the bombshells were there, but I'm saying there's still some interest there. So she jumping up and down and she happy because Kenzie's type is likely coming in. He got that thick accent from North Carolina. I think his name was Caleb or whatever. And somebody said that's Kenzie's type to a T. And you got Melanie going crazy. Trinity like move back, like having to tell her to move the hell out the way again, child. Lord have mercy. But it is what it is, okay? Caleb has to kiss the guys and the guys are, I'm sorry, kiss the girls and the guys are forced to watch. So he done kissed all the ladies. Sincere had me screaming, okay? The way he had his arm, like he had no choice but to have his arm up. It was just so hilarious that he couldn't do nothing with himself. And then you had Bryce, the dude gave him a blindfold. It was just a mess, okay? It was just a mess. And Trinity was here for that kiss, baby. Trinity damn near laid all the way back to get that kiss. I feel like Anaya laid back too to get that kiss. I said, damn, okay, it's a mess up in here. But that was pretty much the episode. So I'm looking forward to, I'm glad today is Tuesday and not Wednesday, because y'all know Wednesday we do not get an episode. But on Tuesday night, we will get an episode. And I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody is feeling and fitting with these bombshells, okay? Leave your thoughts and comments down below. That's all I got. I'm Jamie, that's me. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
Family, over fame, get the money, that's why we came. Fuck the world, these niggas lame. Straight out the trench, it never change. You can't ride up in my lane. Honor my niggas whenever I speak. A hustle each day of the week. Honor my wife and my son, I can't hang with no sucker. These niggas be weak. Chasing these bras, popping your guns on the cover. These niggas be free. Talking that shit, but ain't crossing the street of my city. We said you sweet. Minding my business, I stay on my toes. I'm making my way to my goal.